All right. Hey,
We're back.
we're back. Yes, we made it. We made it back.
We haven't go live to start with. Never mind. Let's just carry on.
Yeah. If you want to know us, just give us a call. It'd be great. Just know. Yeah. All right. Cool. So the kaupapa for today, I guess I am tasked with this. So what the Awhi session is all about is just trying to Awhi our communities to get a better understanding of the funding road. And in terms of Foundation North, we have 4 key focus areas that we I guess that we work through or lenses that we look through when we look to grant. The 4 that we have social inclusion, increasing equity, regenerating the environment, and community support. Now, for the sake of time for today, we're going to be going through 2 of them. The first being social inclusion, and then the second one being increasing equity. The lovely Rebecca will be taking us through the social inclusion part of it, just to let you know what that's all about. And then I want to land the plane with our increasing equity bit. So Rebecca, I guess I'll hand this over to you.
Awesome, whānau. So as you can see, we've got Melody there helping us to make sure we are including our community in this watch party. And whakauru mai is social inclusion. It's including everybody. And basically for us, one of our key focuses is the area that helps with rainbow community, LGBTQ community, our former refugees, our new immigrants, and our disabled community. And so just like, you know, being Māori and growing up in Aotearoa, we've got the big tribes and then we've got the smaller hapus. And so we have our big society, then we have our small communities, and we want to make sure that nobody misses out. And so we look to bring a sense of belonging so that people feel they belong, they're accepted, and they're included. And this doesn't just mean at a surface level. We're also interested in groups that are looking at things that bring system change, things that affect laws and policies and the self-determination and influence decision-making. So groups that are doing that and are looking for funding, we would love to be able to support in that area. We also, for us, social inclusion means equal access to opportunities. We live in a country where everybody should have equal access to opportunities, and meaning participation in society is really important to us. We live in diverse communities. Manukau City is like the melting pot. South Auckland is huge. It's very diverse. So nobody should ever feel on the outside of that. And we want to support community groups that programs that tackle those root causes of exclusion. And that is things like discrimination, racism, and stigma. We want to support groups that tackle those areas that create exclusion. We also want to support and Awhi groups. You know, it's about what matters to the community matters to where we're going to help with our funding. And you have aspirations and you have a voice. And often we want to be able to support the community groups that are supporting your aspirations and supporting your voice, and have strong leadership that challenge the antisocial mindsets, and the leadership that can influence and advocate on behalf of our priority communities. And we also look for community groups that are willing to collaborate and support one another. So social inclusion for us is a really exciting key priority, and we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from the groups that are doing the mahi on the ground, that are making changes, and they do need putia to help that impact. And so for us, if you think you're part of a group that does that, please feel free. There's plenty of opportunity to contact Albie and I, contact our office, jump onto our website, because we want to hear from you. And so hopefully that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to go on and on and on, but I'm just going to hand it back to Albie, and he's going to talk a little bit about social inclusion. But before I do, I spent a bit of time yesterday talking to some people in the community, And I thought, you know, to prepare myself for this meeting, it makes sense that I actually go and hear the voice of the people that we want to support. And a couple of things were really evident that came out in my meeting was that when a new immigrant comes, they're coming into New Zealand and it is a complete culture shock for them. And there is a large group of new immigrants that come in and they experience loneliness and they experience in this culture shock. They're coming to a country that they're so unfamiliar with, and it takes time to make friends and make connections. And so that's one of the areas I wanted to point out today, is that there's this real loneliness, there's this culture shock that happens. Our refugees, when they come here normally because they can't stay in their own countries, and we want to support them. We've committed to allowing them into Aotearoa, and we need to look after them. And so, and with our rainbow community, we just want to make sure that we give them every opportunity to come to us to find the support that they need for the things that matter to them. And for our disabilities community, we're constantly looking for groups to support. So please just come to us and let us know. So I'm going to hand it over to Albie now. I'm quite passionate about our social inclusion, and I feel very privileged to be able to talk to you about that today. So Albie's going to take it from here.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. That was amazing. Super powerful. So once again, if you feel like you fall into those, I guess I want to say those categories, but if you feel like you took those boxes, you know, I guess Rebecca or myself would be, you know, more than happy to have a chat with you to see what support looks like between yourselves and Foundation North. Just before I start, we've got quite a few people actually watching, which is great. Firstly, sorry for the technical difficulties at the start, but we're on track now, which is great. So just hello to everyone that's out there. There's a few of you saying hello, and we say hello back to you. That's me saying hello. Yeah. All right. So, cool. I've been tasked to talk about increasing equity. So this is one of our key focus areas that Foundation North has. And the nuts and bolts of it is increasing equity is just trying to make sure everyone is at the same start line and has the same opportunities that everyone else has. Now, in terms of Foundation North, there is a priority. We have priority communities that we are looking to invest into. These are our South Auckland, Northland communities, our Pasifika and Māori communities, and I guess any initiatives that have to do with or centered around youth and young people. Now, I guess the outcomes that we're looking to see from this, we want to see, I guess, increased equity and outcomes for the well-being of our Māori and Pacific communities. We want to see thriving Māori and Pacific tamariki, rangatahi, and whānau, through projects or initiatives that are out there. We want to see pathways to shared prosperity. We'd love to see Māori in the governance space or in the decision-making space as well. And one key one is we want to see the Māori and Pasifika language thriving and the culture thriving as well. That's a pretty big one, and it's me being New Zealand born. It's a big part of my identity as a New Zealand Pacific Islander is knowing I guess where my parents come from, and it sort of links into what Rebecca was talking about when my parents came over from Samoa and from Fiji, and they came to New Zealand. It was a totally different space, a big culture shock, but luckily enough they were supported by family and good friends. So but understanding your culture and having that strong identity or have yourself rooted in that space is something that initiatives that we're looking for as well. Some of the change pathways that we included are, we want to see, we want to be able to support our communities, access opportunities and resources. We'd love to see collaboration and collective models of impact. So obviously there's a bit around avoiding duplication, but there's also power in numbers. And what I've seen, especially out in the South, is, everyone has the same heart and everyone's doing a lot of stuff. So, but sometimes we can get tunnel vision at times, which is no fault of anyone. We just, people out South, whether we have the money or whether we don't, the mahi's gonna get done. And sometimes that gets us a bit tunnel vision. But I guess a part of our role with Foundation North is being able to have a look at those different people that are doing things and bring them together to see if we can do something great. We want to be resourcing our whānau and our community's ambitions. We're looking for initiatives that use Māori and Pasifika knowledge systems and practices. We want to be sharing power with our tangata whenua, and we're looking for innovative approaches. And this is one of the cool things about, I guess, for me, I'm a bit biased because I live out south, but I'm sure we see a lot of it across Auckland and across Northland as well. Is that man, our people are very innovative because they do a lot of the stuff off the smell of a oily rag with no money, and they do amazing and wonderful things. I guess the thing that we want to say as Foundation North is that I guess we're here to chat and see where we can support if you align with align with the outcomes, align with the change pathways, and align with the overall kaupapa that we're looking to I guess achieve with increasing equity. That's increasing equity in a nutshell. I'll hand it back to you. Have any questions or frequently asked questions?
Look, we've got a question in there from Carla, and she's asking, can you please give us examples of kaupapa that these groups are wanting to target, are applying for? What are the diverse, innovative ideas already funded that we can send back with these rōpū? I think diversity and ideas really is all about when you look at an idea that is going to impact our community, it doesn't matter what shape or form, as long as nothing's illegal, it takes. That's where the creativity comes. It's about knowing the community and knowing what's going to work for them. And nobody knows the community better than the community itself. And that's why we rely on you to come up with the ideas. It can be a variety of something that you do in the park with kids. It could be something that helps them in extra education outside of their core curriculum or outside of a school. It could be helping with their mental well-being, a fitness program that is attached to their mental well-being, anything that helps increase the equity. Or I liken it to when I did athletics at Papatoi Athletics Club. And I remember going along, and I as a little girl, I didn't quite understand why some of the kids were allowed to go in front of me. And they had what we call an advantage. Because they were younger and smaller, they were allowed 2 steps, 3 steps in front of me. At that time, as a young person, I thought it was unfair. But the reality is that they needed a little bit of an advantage. And that's what we want to do. We want to get everybody up to the same par so that they have an opportunity and access to opportunities to do better. And we are looking for ideas. We're always open to hearing your ideas. So don't feel like you've got to come up with this slick presentation that's 20 pages long. To be honest, Albert and I, we like 1-pagers. Yeah, come to us with a 1-pager and a really passionate idea that you can commit to helping deliver into our community. That would be far more effective for us. So yeah, we're excited. And again, I can see that people are saying hello. Hello to everybody. It's so lovely to have you here. Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that, Albie? Did you do well at athletics at school? I was actually quite good at sprinting and long distance. Yeah. But I didn't like losing. So that's why I didn't like anyone being in front of me.
Yeah, I was great. I was great at athletics. Amazing. If I could just tag on, the nuts and bolts of it is, you are the community, the solutions. So we're really here to listen and trying to figure out, what those initiatives are and if we can fund it, or if we can, if it fits and it aligns, and it aligns. So yeah, no, that's an awesome question. That's a really good question.
Yes, another question from Janie is, does this stretch into Northland? Absolutely. Our funding is for Auckland and Northland. And so we have two of our engagement advisors, Fire Rosie and Corey, and we will be more than happy to refer you on to them, or we work together because some people are based also in Auckland and in Northland. So we just work together to make sure that your kaupapa, your whakaaro, your idea is put forward in a way that we can support you. So that's exciting. We definitely happy that you're asking those types of questions. We also go as far back as this side of Port Waikato and by Miranda Hot Pool. So I'm also keen to, both Albie and I, to hear from our Pukekohe, Waiuku, Tuakau, all our Franklin area. You're a little bit quiet, so kaore whakamā, don't be shy. Come and talk to us. We know that there's a lot of community work that happens in the Franklin area, so we're looking forward to hearing from you around those things as well. The other thing I want to mention to Albie is about if you're a small entity and you think, oh my gosh, my receipts are all in a paper bag, no one's ever going to give me any money. That's fine, because if you're doing the mahi and you can find a larger entity that will umbrella you and look after you and hold the funds for you, then we will look at umbrellaing you under another organisation so that you can continue to do the mahi. And so we're really, and that's a form of partnership and collaboration. That's the essence of community working together until you get your receipts into zero. Zero is a really good program. So we're excited about the fact that you don't have to be a big, large community. You can be a small community group that's just starting out, but you are having a huge impact in our community and you would like a little bit of help from a larger entity. So that's one of the ways that we can help you as well. Like I said before, the biggest message that we have today is, please, if you know you're helping the community, and we don't want you to feel whakamā or shy to come and ask for help, because we can help you. We can support your community initiatives. Yeah. You got anything to add to that, Albie?
No, but I've got another question from Millie. Millie's asked, our kaupapa is based countrywide. Does that align? Like Bex has said, Port Waikato all the way to the north is sort of where we fund. What I would suggest is, if you were to come into funding, come and apply for funding, look at maybe applying for funding for the Auckland or sort of the Auckland Northland area, rather than trying to go for, I guess, the nationwide sort of funding. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah. And at the moment, we have what we call our Pacific Future Makers. They are doing a funding round at the moment, South Auckland Pacific Fund. That can be found on our Facebook page. That's been up and open for the last 2 weeks, and we've had heaps of applicants. And it's a group of 15 Pacifica youth from South Auckland specifically that have been mandated to distribute $200,000 and $100,000 from Ministry of Youth and 100,000 from Foundation North. And so they're a panel. They've been doing talanoa. They have quite a refreshing way of doing interviews and assessing and talking to our community about their funding ideas. So that's another. Check out our website, check out our Facebook page. Please join our Facebook page would be a good idea too. So you get to see me and Albie more often on the Facebook page. That's an advantage. Yes, so I've got another question here from Malo. Do you want to answer that one, Albie?
Cool, yeah. So Malo's asked if the larger entity, so we're talking about the umbrella groups that you were speaking about before, Rebecca. If the larger entity is currently funded by Foundation North, can the smaller entity still use them as an umbrella organization? The answer is yes.
Yes. Yes. The short answer and the long answer is yes. Okay, Eddie. Oh, we've got a beautiful marae. Whare kaua marae, thank you. One thing I want to say is that we get a lot of thank yous, but you know what? At the end of the day, we want to thank you. We have the putia, but you guys are the ones that do all the mahi. It's our community that does the mahi, and so you deserve the treats. And so it is actually our privilege. So I just want to put that out there quite often. And realistically, I've watched community groups that even without our putia, they will still do stuff. They will still affect the community. So it's just a blessing to be able to support groups like that. So thank you, Whare kaua marae. We get your shout out there. So yeah. Got anything to add to that, Albie, before we sign off?
No, nothing to add. But just once again, thank you guys so much for the work you guys do in the community. Me and Rebecca almost have a dream job. We're really privileged to sit down and hear the amazing work that you guys do, and potentially, our role is to, help potentially partner with us to, make more of an impact in our community. So thank you so much. I guess we're just about to sign off, but one thing I did want to mention is that Rebecca's actually got a secret talent. She used to be a aerobics instructor, and because it's almost Christmas, and I don't think we're going to see you guys again. Hopefully we do, but if we don't, we did want to leave you with a song, and Rebecca's going to show you her dance moves.
I dance, and I sat up all night sewing this hat. So yeah, I thought it would be just appropriate to put this on to go with my moves. So hit the music, DJ, if you don't have any technical difficulties in doing that. So are we ready, whānau? We want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And Albert is just about to hit the music. Yes, there we go. Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas, everybody. And the moves that we've got. You a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom. Yeah, we better stop there because I should just stick to singing in the shower. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody. We love you. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Albert. We'll talk soon. Ka kite.